Good morning, YouTube. It's your man, All the Rage George Page, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, I saw this yesterday. My phone was getting low. I was out about doing some usual stuff. My phone was getting low, so I didn't get enough time to really put the video together. That I saw that Caitlin Young, the Striking Viking, has signed with PFL, meaning she has left Invicta. And Invicta is, if you follow MMA news, has separate ties from the UFC just these past few days. Um, they're not going to be on UFC Pass, and I think this really can hurt the organization, and also losing someone like Caitlin Young too. PFL has a 145 to 155 division, and it's also they have not been having no fights since last year, but they're going to try to start up their roster this year. Now, Caitlin has been in the game for quite some time. She's been fighting mixed martial arts for maybe about nearly 15 years or more. And also, she's also fought overseas in Thailand in Muay Thai. She's a Muay Thai specialist. And the thing is that, this is a fighter that should have been in the UFC a long time ago. She has fought some of the best. She lost to some of the best. And whatever reason, the UFC has not ever picked her up. So for a good part of her career, she was fighting Invicta, and Invicta is really much a girls only organization, you know, and it's just right now with now them separating from Invicta, from the UFC, and talking about showing their fights on YouTube. What are they gonna do? And that's not a good idea. Like I said, they need an organization that could help these ladies get a chance to develop and grow. As you know, Invictus kind of like a AAA organization for fighters, especially for women. And it's hard for women to showcase because most organizations don't barely have maybe 1 to 2 women fights doing a show. And Invicta has constantly have put out some great fights. Some great fights that come from Invicta, such as Chris Cyborg, Angela Hill. She went back there and she came back. Brianna Van Buren. I mean, there's some, Felicia Spencer, Megan Anderson. There's some, great fighters that have come out of this organization. But now, with the separation from UFC, would the UFC still recruit? I think the last few times the UFC been recruiting fighters from LFA. But now in Invicta gone, they don't have a deeper pool of women. So what's Caitlin going to do? I mean, if Invicta's not going to take her, if UFC's not going to pick her up, there's always Bellator, but Bellator don't even fight that often. They're just going to be starting fighting in April. They're dragging their feet. And then, like my man coach says, they only have women fights maybe once or 1 or 2 fights a show. I mean, women don't fight enough on there either. Even though they have a good 145 division over there in Bellator, they seem like the women don't fight enough. So PFL, PFL has a 155 division. That's for women who are a little bit more bigger, a lot more size to them. And the thing is, I did a video yesterday where I talked about how there's some prejudice against bigger women. And I don't see why. These bigger women bring on, there's a good chance of good fights, a good chance of maybe actually a good blowout knockout. I mean, it's just, but the idea is, again, instead of for the UFC caters mostly to their white male fan base, 18 to 35 or to 40. So, and then also over there in PFL is Kayla Hot Job Harrison, where she sits as the champion at the lightweight division. And I think somebody like Caitlin Young, with her background, her skill set, we can be some competition for Harrison. As you know, also was the former 135 champion, Sarah Kaufman was over there for a minute, and she has left. She has parted from PFL. We don't know where she's going to pop up at. Maybe Titan FC, maybe Bellator, but she has to fight either at 145, which is the only place where she can fight at Bellator. She's too big for 125. If Bellator need, like I said, Bellator need to develop, 2 more divisions. They need to develop straw weight, and they need to develop bantamweight, and also they should throw in Adam. They need it. They just need somebody to put some money on them. So, as the Striking Viking saying bye-bye to Invicta, what is the future for Invicta? We don't know. We know the future for Caitlin Young is probably a future lightweight title contendership with Kaylee Harrison. And that probably would be a good thing because, PFL, or was one time was under NBC Sports, but they moved to ESPN, just like the UFC. And ESPN has deeper pockets. There's also a possibility if they can reach out with the right people, maybe, Invicta can go to maybe Fox Sports. But the thing is, Invicta have to recruit men. And that's the thing. They have to do that. That's the only way to survive. If they can go to a network like Fox Sports and recruit men from men division, and that's the only way they probably survive. Fox Sports not gonna pick up a totally complete women's fighting organization unless there's men there, because generally most men like to see men fight. And some people are not uncomfortable with the idea when fighting. Recently, as you know, Stephen A. Slickback made a comment about women in violence. But you know what? Women can fight just as good. And I said again, I'm going to quote a great fighter, and that's Ann Brown Sugar Wolf. I said that when men fight, they act like they're like making love. But women fight, they fight with their hearts out. And I've seen great women fights where they fight more better than some guys. I've seen guys spend more time rolling on the ground and like against the cage. Where I see some women slugging it out. Let it fight with or was it in PFL? How you just go for the title for battle? Was it Stelierico versus forget that girl's name? And it was a blood fest, and that was a good fight. So anyway, Caitlin Young, best of luck to you over in PFL. Maybe you will be the next PFL lightweight champion. If I'm in PFL, you're going to see a rise of women who want to go somewhere and fight. You need to develop more weight classes. Bring in Adam, bring in Fly, bring in Bantam, bring in Straw. If you have the backing, especially if you're on ESPN, they'll throw the money for you to do it. So like I said, best of luck to Striking Viking, and just things that got to get better for these ladies because they need a place for themselves to establish themselves. Somebody got to step up for them. This is your man, All the Way Yours page. Don't like, subscribe. Don't subscribe. I'm out.